I'm going to let the ladies go first.
Well, I'll tell you. I went on vacation. And that's exactly what I did. I had been in business for 8 years, and I had never really, taken vacation. Everything was on hold. My whole family was on hold. My life was on hold because I was working this business. And finally, when I hit a certain financial goal that I had set, I actually took my husband and myself on a vacation. We took a cruise, and it was the first one. You talking about relaxation. I didn't have a computer. It was withdrawals, of course. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have a phone. We were out there just totally relaxing. So I took a vacation.
For me, I didn't know I had made it. Someone had to tell me. I didn't know. I was so busy moving and serving that I had not realized it. And, someone had to say, hey, you're doing this. Or better yet, when they said, can you list down all your accomplishments? And that was my aha moment. It's like, ooh, is that me? Really? And at that very point, I changed and I began to celebrate in advance. So now I celebrate in advance so that I won't ever forget or take it for granted. Because I can't even say take it for granted because I didn't even know. So that in itself is how I realize it, through the eyes of someone else or following instruction, because great leaders follow. And sometimes when you're doing what you love, you're just doing it. You're just doing it until you actually stop. And really, I get it now, what it means to smell the roses.
Very good. Very good. That making it a success moment for me is ever fleeting. It seems like as soon as I reach it, it's like I raise the bar so quickly. It seems like I never make it.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I've ever made it anywhere, but I do know this about the rewarding myself. I am highly motivated by challenges, so that means I keep a carrot dangled before me on a monthly basis or quarterly, correct?
Yeah.
So I travel frequently. I rest often, not enough. And I can guarantee you after today, I'm going to rest again. But I think that's the motivating factor for me to keep going and make it okay to continue to challenge myself and to raise the bar.
Oh, right.
Nice. I thought mine was simple. Childcare, kids, do it remotely. It's my mother's dream. She'd be the historian director. I'll do a little plan, and then we'll take care of some little babies and educate them along the way and collect tuition. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yeah, I'm like up 20 hours out of the day. Really? No, I underestimated the industry. I always had respect for the industry, but I have a greater respect now for the industry because it's so integral. And we're in a child care crisis, and a lot of people don't even realize it because people in that industry do what they do because they're compassionate about children. But it's a sensitive place.
One of the things that I didn't realize that my organization is a social enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is you have an initiative and you really drive it home. People wanting to go to work, that's an initiative. Mm-hmm. And I took it on as, as someone helping someone else to get a job because I felt like I had those little pieces that they were missing. I also found out that in my industry that working with people wanting to go back to work, it wasn't all just about work. I found out that there were homeless individuals. Oh. There were individuals that didn't have clothes to go to work. I had individuals that were domestic violence. So all these things, even though the ultimate goal for human potential was to put people to work, but we learned I had to restructure some of my business model to address those immediate issues prior to them going to work. So that was something I didn't, really look at.
Yeah, that's a good area because I know a lot of businesses fail because of that one one thought. I mean, because we all have a love and a passion for a thing, and you go after that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what you don't realize, you have to become so many things
Mm-hmm.
in that passion.
Yeah.
You have to become you don't, like, I think Dr. Newcomb said earlier, you literally have to pick it all. You don't have to be a professional in all these areas, but you have to be abreast.
Yes.
Otherwise, you got a company functioning and you just don't know most of what's going on, and you think it's about one thing, and you get fixated on what you love to do,
Yeah.
and everything else
Yeah.
around you is just running amok. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
very good question. Very point of thought.
It's the little things in each one of our businesses that we do is really a golden nugget that we're unaware of. You know, you just really we take a lot of things for granted because you are, as Garnet said here, is a social enterprise, and you're making a difference. You're impacting individuals' lives. You know, for me, it's as simple as watching a child sleep. You can see when it's sound, they're safe, they're in a clean place, caring. Those things you take for granted.
Yep.
A job you take for granted. Just now in this economy that we're in, the most skilled, articulated individual is unemployed. When you in line or online, because they don't even have a line for you to get in anymore for unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
No one sees you. But that doesn't mean that you've achieved some things, but right now we're having to do a new thing. We're having to collaborate. You're having to talk with people. You have to understand a new language. So that in itself is just a whole new entity that we're surviving within.
Well, for me today, it is the very essence of our business. We're in a business where we deal with people, and there are no boundaries. They can be anywhere in the United States. So it was a challenge to turn that techie curve, but, we stayed with it. It's so funny. I remember when it first, at the beginning of all this, I didn't know how to do an email. I avoided it for a long time, but now it's second nature, and I sit myself in front of someone who's far more advanced than me every day to make sure, once again, I know as much as they know to help expand our business, because that's the way the world is going.
Right. And you've been in business how many years now?
12 years now. Yeah.
I mean, so that, that's a huge milestone. For me, just the diversity of types of staff that I have and learning and getting their assistance in the new technology and how it integrates, because you've got word of mouth, you got old school, you got door knocking happening, then you got social media, and you got to be on top of it. Yesterday's message is really like eons behind time. You send something today and it's next week and you haven't did anything. You're really old news, and so not even 7 days, really?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, working with the federal government and the state and city, they are not quick on accepting technology. So I use that as an excuse not to move my business into technology. We don't need any of all that fancy stuff because our customers are not even there. But in reality, though, we had to maintain and sustain what our customers required of us, but we also had to, develop email accounts, social media, the website, Facebook. I fought all that for years, but I had to realize that I had to do things simultaneously. Mm-hmm. Keep my customer happy, which was the, governmental entities, because they don't move quite as fast as everybody else, because they're very, very particular with the confidentiality and things that they have to use. But on the other hand, my staff, they had to keep abreast of what, they become technology savvy, because of the fact that, like Kay was saying, emails that come in, you have to answer those right away. They, when you're talking to other resources, they're up there in the technology, in line with technology. So I had to do a balancing act and do things simultaneously.
Right. And I think at the end of the day, we're talking about being open to change.
Yeah.
Staying in line with what's taking place.
Yes.
We all, got this thing about texting and stuff like that. Learn how to text. I'm so excited about that little microphone on there, because now I can talk Texas. because you get in, they're texting you, and before you can even answer, they text you again. It's like I haven't answered the first one.
Yeah,
but it's catching up, and then there's tools that's being put out there to help everyone else
CEOs
get in
like
line. You don't have to be an expert at it, but you do need to be aware of it.
Calendars. I just started using calendars, and that was very major for me because I used to write everything down and carry a little book. But now I'm really excited about the fact that I got an iPhone and I can actually, put an account. Now I can't understand why somebody double book, because I don't anymore because I'm technologically savvy, but those are the kind of things that you get excited about when it comes to technology.